Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Midnight Moon Tarot and I'm Diana. This reading is for the astrological sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or anywhere in your birth chart that Virgo might appear. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take just a second and invite you to subscribe and click that little bell so that you're sure to be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, in the description box below, you'll find links to my social media, my Patreon, my PayPal, and links to some really cool things on Amazon I think you guys will like. Okay, so although this reading is for the month of March 2020, keep in mind that all tarot readings are timeless. So whenever you come across this reading, whether it's right after I upload, a week, month, or even a year or so from now, if you feel drawn to watch it, most likely you will find a message for you within the reading. And also, if you feel as if it doesn't quite resonate with you, this is why at the beginning of all my videos I say Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, because if you know your other planetary placements, then you can listen to those readings as well and receive additional messages. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into this reading. Okay. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Virgo for the month of March 2020? Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo for the month of March 2020? One just jumped out. This is Star. I'll just set it there. I don't really do jumpers, but I'll leave it out. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Virgo for the month of March 2020? Okay. One more time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and divide these into three. Alright. And the card on the bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups. Okay, so this shows me that with this being the overall energy for, excuse me, I'm moving some cards and things around over here. Okay. This is the overall energy for your reading, and this shows me that you may be feeling a little dissatisfied, a little bored with what you actually have going on at the moment. Although you have your 3 cups that are filled and the universe is offering you a new cup, you have a sense of dissatisfaction and boredom with what's going on. Okay, so this card is going to influence or have an overall energy for your reading, and as we go through your spread, I'm going to show you how that card's going to relate to the other cards that come up in your reading. Okay, so for those of you who are new here, I do 4 columns. The first column relates to you, what you're going through, what might have recently have come to pass, things that are coming towards you in the near future. The second column has the same thing, only it's for your beloved, your intended, your twin flame, soulmate, karmic partner, divine counterpart, maybe an ex that you still feel a really strong bond with that you would love to reconcile with, or whoever is the first person you think of in the morning when you wake up, and the last person you think of when you go to sleep at night. The third column is obstacles, challenges, fears, anxieties, that type of thing. Let me move this star card right over here. All right. And in the last column, it's outcome. Okay. All right. Now, I've just laid out a total of 8 cards. That's 2 in each row. I'm going to do this 2 more times for a total of 24 cards. That way, by the time we get to the end of the reading, we have a pretty good little story about what's going on. So in your column, we have the Ace of Wands as well as the 2 of Cups. So you are hoping for maybe a little more excitement, a little more passion, romance, sexuality with your partner. You want that, you want to feel like they have as much interest in you as you do in them, that you have this equality here. You have this reciprocity, this give and take. This card can even mean a reconciliation. All right. So if you have someone you've been in separation from, you may find yourself tangled up in a booty call situation if you're missing that particular passion that you have going on. Otherwise, it's just showing me that you are in a relationship where the two of you have equal passion for each other. Now, in your partners column, we have the moon as well as the 10 of Wands. So with the moon being major arcana, this is a very heavy influence, and they have recently gone through and found out some things that maybe they are not, or you could have found some things out about your partner, but you're not exactly, you weren't exactly aware of them at the time, but they've been made known to you. Everything in the dark comes to light. And, you know, I always talk about this card being a lunar eclipse and the shadow covering the moon and it being dark and can't see what's going on. And as the shadow passes and things are illuminated, you're able to see, the moonlight reveals what's actually going on that's been hidden from you. Now, this 10 of Wands talks about this burden you've been carrying around. They've been, this is your partner's column, so they've been carrying this burden around, and they kind of feel relieved that you are now made aware of whatever it was that was going on. They were kind of afraid that possibly you would reject them or didn't, you wouldn't accept what they had been maybe keeping in the dark from you. Now, your fears, anxieties, challenges, things like that, we have the 4 of Swords as well as the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles talks about, you know, these being in your fears and anxieties, challenges, things like that, you may have a feeling that this relationship is not as secure, that you are not feeling as safe in the relationship. It's a feeling like you feel like you just don't, you don't have that security. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't have that security knowing that it's there, it's there, it's there, it's there, day after day, whether it's, whether this boredom sets in on your part or your partner's part, that, you know, we understand there's ebbs and flows in relationships, just like the ocean. So, you know, sometimes we have all these emotions coming in, and sometimes we don't have so much emotions coming in. But it gives you time to be pensive about it, thinking about all the things that have gone on. It gives you an opportunity to go over these things that you found out and whether they're important to you or not important to you. And it gives you an opportunity to decide whether you are going to, you know, accept them or work it out with your partner. So even though we have the Tower here and it looks very frightening, this is your outcome. The Tower brings with that an opportunity to rebuild things the way that they should have built. And the Hierophant is telling me that there is this security in this relationship to the level of marriage, even possibly, if you're not already married or wed to your partner. It tells me that this is the type connection that you have with your partner that's going on. So even though some little nasty things might have been revealed to you from your partner's past, or maybe even something that's recently occurred with them, you are willing to deconstruct and go back over, you know, set your new guidelines and boundaries for the relationship and try to rebuild something that's even stronger. Okay. Now, in your next little row, we have the King of Pentacles as well as Judgment. In your partners, we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands. Your obstacles, challenges, the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. In your outcome, we have the World as well as the Queen of Swords. So this is telling me that this person, possibly really strong earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and This person has always made you feel that sense of security that you wanted. And even though we had this tower moment, it shows me that you are willing to have a resurrection of this relationship. You're ready to give it new life and start over and, you know, bring things together the way that they should be. Now with your partner, we have the Three of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles, and it tells me that, you know, they are really invested in this relationship. They are really ready and willing to do whatever it takes in order to make this relationship work, and they are looking forward to a better future with you. They are looking out at all the possibilities and the wonderful things that can happen when you are in love with someone and you've had some struggles and you made it through those struggles. Now with the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords, this is your obstacles and challenges. The Two of Swords talks about you know, using your brain instead of your heart, or romanticizing a situation, bringing a truce, making that decision based on the facts rather than your emotions, bringing a little bit of balance to it, as well as the Two of, excuse me, I'm just getting over the flu, guys. That's why your readings may be just a little bit late. So the Two of Wands is, he's sitting here looking out into the future and thinking about everything to come. So certainly after there's been some struggles and a rebuild of the situation, especially with the star that jumped out when I was doing my shuffling, you know, it talks about this brand new beginning. It talks about being able to start over and having that fresh start and, you know, putting things behind you. This Ten of Wands that we had earlier, yes, he's carrying around these burdens and everything, but the tens are always about completion of cycles, and it tells me that you're ready and your partner's ready to put those things down in the past and to move on. So we have Queen of Swords as well as the World for your outcome. Now the Queen of Swords is somebody a little bit no nonsense. Swords are always like that. Sometimes they can seem a little cold and callous. But this is someone who's just really and truly has, you know, full of love and passion, but at the same time, they're not willing to accept any type of, you know, player mentality, any type of foolishness, any type of disrespect for the relationship. Now, earlier you had the Tower, and I just showed you the Star, which is the card that always falls, it seems to fall right after the Tower every time. It's the next card in succession after the Tower. So where you have the destruction, with the Star you have brand new beginnings. So this World is telling me that you are having the opportunity to completely start over with a brand new commitment that is in the making. All these things are in the works for you right now. You have a lot of things. This cup here that the universe is offering you, when you have these three cups here, like love, emotion, home, security, those type of things, and the universe is offering you this new cup, you may have had this feeling of, do I do it one more time? You know, I'm a little bored with the same thing. You know this person, you know everything about them, you know all their ways, they know all your ways. So if you take this person back, you already know what you're going to get. You know what to expect. So don't be surprised when, you know, certain behaviors or things like that pop up again, because you know them. Now it's whether or not you love this person enough that you are willing to, here we go, and these are in your fears and anxieties, whether you are willing to accept those things and to move on with it, okay? Okay, so in your last little row here, we have the Eight of Cups as well as the Three of Cups. In your partner's column, we have the Six of Swords and the Seven of Cups. Fears and anxieties, we have the Seven of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. And in your final outcome, we have the Hanged Man as well as the Nine of Cups. And I always pull maybe 2 extra ones at the end. And this Nine of Wands and the Five of Swords. So when we go back over here to your column, we have the Three of Cups as well as the Eight of Cups. Just a second ago, I was talking about that particular interpretation of the cards being that, you know, if you do decide to take this person back, don't be surprised when you get what you've always gotten, okay? So when there is like maybe third-party situations going on, or you have found out that maybe this person isn't as loyal to you, whether it's through text with other people and not actual, you know, physical infidelity, but there is emotional infidelity, you may actually consider your worth and decide that this is not for you, and there's a possibility, especially with this Eight of Cups, that, you know, you've absolutely had enough and you are going to move on and give yourself something that you are more deserving of, you know. So basically I'm seeing you may give it one more try, and almost immediately, straight out of the gate, your partner is going to be right back to their same old type situation. So your partner has a Seven of Cups, so they have a lot of offers that are always coming into them, or they have a wandering eye, and so even though they may be with you, they're constantly looking at all these other little things that they could possibly have. They have these like mental fantasies about, well, they could be with this person or whatever, and it makes you feel less than important. You know, there's a couple of things that can happen when that situation comes up. You can, you know, admit to your feelings. There's nothing to be ashamed of when you say, you know, you're making me jealous. You are doing things that actually hurt me. When you are paying attention to other women or other men, whether you're a man or a woman, whatever. It kind of devalues, it makes you feel as if you are less than wanted, you know, like you're not enough. So this is part of the feeling why you feel like you may want to walk away from the situation and totally leave it. You know, the Six of Swords talks about, you know, leaving situations, moving away from it. You see the water there, which it tells me that there is a lot of emotion involved in this decision. The Queen of Swords that you had earlier tells me that you're not gonna play with the situation. You've been through that. You're not going through it anymore. Now the Seven of Swords, I've never really liked this little guy here very much, and this Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is talking about somebody who is pretty much a liar or a manipulator, or they are sneaky, and they have an attitude where, you know, if they can get away with something, they enjoy that. And making sure you don't know about it, they enjoy that even more. But when we have that Moon card and things happen and situations are revealed and you find out about it, they tend to lie more about it. Now, you know, the Seven of Swords talks about someone who's a thief, but a liar is a thief because they're stealing your choice of whether you would actually stay in that situation or not. They feel like there's someone who wants to just do all these things and have their cake and eat it too, so to speak. And you deserve to be put on a pedestal and admired for the value and the authentic self that you actually are. And you don't deserve to be lied to or manipulated to, or to be second in someone's heart, or that you don't fulfill their needs so that they are constantly pursuing other females. You know, everyone's a human being and we all see other people who are attractive and stuff like that. But whether you make a big deal out of it, whether you are like making googly eyes or embarrassing your partner, or they're embarrassing you, or, you know, there's like a very fine line there, okay? And it seems like this partner is constantly always crossing that line. So you have this love that you are ready to offer. This is in your final outcome. And you have these Nine of Cups, But the Nine of Cups talks about someone who kind of feels like they have it all, but you can't quite be so smug and think that you do have it all, because this is not complete. You don't have a Ten of Cups, you don't have an Ace of Cups, you don't have any of those things going on. This is the Nine of Cups. So something is missing. And if you stay in this situation, you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten. You're going to be very stagnant in this relationship. It's just not going to be moving forward. And it's going to cause, these are the final two extra cards that I laid out for clarifiers. There's, it's going to leave you feeling constantly defensive. It's going to leave you on eggshells. It's going to make you have a sense of dread if you even go out to a party or out to dinner or to any type of social event or something like that, because you never know when that other shoe is going to drop or when this person is going to blatantly disrespect you, okay? And it's going to cause a lot of petty little arguments. It's going to cause a lot of hurt feelings. This is the type of person that when you talk about how you feel, this is like typical narcissistic behavior. When you tell them how you feel, they turn it on you and make it out like, you're being ridiculous, or it's harmless, or you shouldn't be that, or they take pride in the fact that they are making you feel jealous. And that's never a good situation. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be in a situation that makes you feel good and makes you feel happy. And when, although you may love this person very much, if they don't make you feel good and respected and valued in a relationship, you certainly have every reason that you can walk away from the relationship and find something better. Okay. All right, Virgo. So that is your reading for March 2020. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for all your comments, likes, shares, subscribes, and all of your very generous donations. It means so much to me. I very, very much appreciate that. And to those of you who have written to me for private readings, I apologize. I haven't been as quick. I usually get them right out the same day or the next. But this last week I've had this flu off and on, and I'm better. It is still, that little shaky, weak feeling you have. I still have a little of that going on, but no more cough and all that stuff. So I'll be able to get those out for you guys, and I will see you here soon for your mid-monthlies. And I love you guys. Bye-bye.